Yo guys, how are we all
Guys, today we're with Jago, my mate from the UK. Jago,
Yes,
how are you going?
doing? Good man, good.
So-
Bit of a carnivore link up to be fair.
Yeah, so do you want to tell the fans how I met you and how we ran into
man.
each other?
So I'm pretty new to Sydney, so I've just come over from England, you can tell by my accent. And I follow some of the boys in Thailand, so Jack Hopkins, CEO of Testosterone, Harbinator. I think they're pretty well known in the male self-improvement space, so you might already know them. But they shared a post of a carnivore, and I always like clicking on carnivore posts because it's always like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's always like niche, oddball. People don't like to speak about carnivore, so I always do. And that's how I met Daniel, Carnivore Vitality. And I was just thinking, how rare is that to find someone that's on the same path as
Yeah.
you? Like it's so incredibly rare, and it's so hard to find someone that's exactly on the same path as you. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we clicked instantly. Like, we have very similar stories. I put out a thing on my story about a shoulder injury, and this guy was, ready to help me out straight away. Then we just clicked on a lot of things, and a few days later, he's over at my house. Stranger, I never met him, but when you click, you click. So
Yeah, man. We're boys. It's like, have you seen Step Brothers? And it's like, did we just become best friends?
yeah.
Yeah,
And we
man.
just had a mad workout. Just trained some back, like a bit of upper body. Actually trying bone marrow for the first time. So Jago brought some bone marrow and brought all this lamb and stuff. So should be mad. How's the bone marrow, bro?
It's good. It's decent. I'm gonna say that. Like I'll say, the meat over in Australia is a lot better quality than what it was back home.
Really?
More grass-fed, more organic, less hormones and shit.
Let me show the camera the bone marrow. So I haven't scooped it out yet. I'm about to scoop it out. Which side do I scoop it from? This side?
Do that, yeah, do that one.
So I'm about to scoop it. I've never really tried bone marrow before. Ugh. Bro, how are you meant to scoop it?
That's it, man. It's like jelly. It's like jelly.
It's literally like jelly. It tastes weird, eh?
Yeah, man. So now that the boys are feasting, I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Obviously, so you posted that thing about your shoulder, and I had something that helped my shoulder as well. It was the chiropractor.
Yeah.
And obviously from there, we just hopped on a video call, and it was like, do you have this pain? Do you have
Yeah,
this pain?
yeah.
We've seen so many physios, nothing's happening, nothing helps. Like the scans don't show anything. And it seems as though we're on a very similar path. One of the things I wanted to touch on was moving out at like age 18, 19, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like how important do you feel that is for a man?
I think it's very important. I think once you're staying in the home, I think you're still under your parents. I think you still are not your own man because you can't do what you want. You can't, you can't have the views that you want. You're sort of, under your parents. And it is a bit of a shock to your system because, your mum always washes your clothes. She always pays for your food. And now moving out, it's like, shit, I actually have to get my life together. I actually have to grow up, and it sort of forces you. It's that pressure because I think humans, we don't like to change until we're really forced to. And although you shouldn't always just force yourself to change, it's good to have some discipline, but sometimes it's really needed. So yeah, it's been good moving out. You moved out yourself though. You flew all the way from UK to Australia by yourself.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
It was definitely a big leap. But I've kind of landed on my feet. I don't get homesick. I don't worry about shit because I think I've always been quite organised, everything's got their place and shit. So when I get my own place, it's like, right, everything goes here. There's always a system for everything.
Do you miss your parents?
Of course, yeah, of course. I miss my friends, my family, but that's a given. And I always bring it back to Abraham Lincoln. So he was 30 years old, still living with his mom. He hadn't gone out and explored the chaos of the world. That's a loud beard. He hadn't gone out and explored the chaos of the world, and it was only then when he went out at 30 years old and became the man that he did, Abraham Lincoln, which is pretty good. It's pretty big.
So what would you say are the benefits of moving out?
The benefits of moving out, like you said, you've got
realistically, as a young man, or
you've got that absolute pressure. You've got that responsibility. No one's coming to save you when you've moved out. Do you know what I mean? There's no parachute.
No one, yeah. Your mum can't you can't save you.
There's no parachute, and even if you're moving out and you live close to your parents, don't be thinking, oh, if everything goes wrong, I can move back there.
Yeah.
Because you won't be performing at your optimal. You won't be performing at your absolute max. You need pressure, you need chaos to deal with. I think one of the things me and Daniel have had to do is solve our own problems. You know, we have to learn to deal and solve with our own problems. Got a lot of bodily issues, a lot of dysfunctions, and nobody could help.
Yeah.
And it just falls onto you to fix your own problem.
For sure.
It kind of forces you to become the man.
Yeah, like although you're spending more money on rent and stuff, you're developing yourself, which I think is so important, and it will lead to more money in the long term. Like although you're losing some money now, you know, if you're with boys, like I'm with my two best mates, we're always talking about business ideas, we're always talking about improving and stuff. So I think it is one of the best investments you can make.
It's a necessary move. Like a lot of the moves you make may not necessarily get you to the goal directly. You're not going to get rich immediately by moving out, but it's one of the steps you've got to do. It's like a video game. You can't just skip to level 100. You have to do all the little levels beforehand.
Yeah, like not everyone has to move out, but we found it really helpful for us. Yeah, like I definitely think you can still obviously be successful not moving out, like of course. But it is good fun. Just, I guess, grabbing life by the balls to some extent.
Yeah, man. By the testes. You gotta do it.
Which one do you prefer, England or Australia? Be honest.
Do you know what? I mean, I've been here like 30 days, and there's a lot that I do like. There's a lot that I do like. Let's say, for example, I grew up here. It would be a much happier life. The sun's always out. Everybody's really friendly. A lot more chilled out. A lot more chillaxed. Even the bus drivers here are so friendly. In England, it's like, thank you. It's like, fuck off. It's not that bad, but it's just people are less grim in Australia. I think they're happier because the sun's out more. They get more vitamin D.
Yeah.
They're closer to the ocean, the beach.
The meat isn't as bad quality, so probably, you know, less omega-6 and stuff.
And like, I've spoken to a few Australians who have spent years in England, and they say, listen, it was good, but the sun was never out. Everyone was a little bit grim and fast-paced, and they couldn't stay there. They couldn't. Like Aussies going to England isn't the same as a Brit going to Australia.
Because you're going from cold to hot usually, because it's pretty hot here. Like, what's the temperature today? Like, it's only like 22, 23, but the sun's out, and it's pretty chill.
Yeah, man. And I'm forgetting that like Australians are the British that came out in the first place. You know what I mean? Like everybody from Australia originally came from. Well, most of them came from England. So that was how it started. But yeah, one of the things like one of the common themes when I got speaking to you on Instagram, it was like we've got all these injuries in common. Both got ADHD, both interested in the carnivore diet. So like, where do we go from there? What's the absolute plan to go from there? What's your plan?
In terms of what? In terms of like financial, physical, or just in general, like?
Yeah, like what are you hoping to do? Like, what's the next big goal?
Yeah, I think I'm really dedicating more time on YouTube now. I'm really trying to find my target audience, because I did have a carnivore channel, and although I was, you know, spreading the message, it's a good message. I really think there's a generation of young men out there who need to hear this message, and who need to hear that, need that hope that, you know, who don't have the answers. Like, we didn't have the answers. Whether it's carnivore, whether it's things like we're starting to see a chiro now and it's helping us, just sort of this behind the matrix scenes, like answers that the conventional mainstream medicine or media won't give you. Like, for example, they say to fix your skin you need to go on a pill called Accutane, but no, you don't need to. That's pill's toxic. You can, you know, fix your diet. And although people don't really listen to the advice to fix your diet, because they think fixing your diet means to add in more greens and stop eating junk food.
Damn.
It's loud. But fixing your diet for certain people might mean cutting out all the carbs. So,
Okay,
yeah.
now. That's the only thing. I think when I moved to Australia was the birds are loud, bro.
There's no spiders though here, eh? Come on, there's no spiders. Everyone always says there's spiders.
Yeah, do you know what? I haven't seen a massive spider yet. I haven't seen a huntsman or anything like that. That was one thing before I was moving. I was like, fuck. I mean, I want to go to Australia, but fucking hell, like, I want to live on the top floor so no spiders can touch me. But I haven't seen one.
Yeah, there's no spiders, like, not really.
Nah.
A few snakes though, eh?
I haven't seen any. Have you?
You gotta watch out, bro. There's a few snakes in North Sydney.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Nah, it's pretty chill. But yeah.
It is, man. I mean, obviously I've only been in North Sydney. I don't know. I can't speak for the rest of the outer suburbs and whatnot, but it's beautiful. It's all
So what do you think it's like having ADHD? And do you think it's like real? Do you think, people say, oh, ADHD isn't real, you're just lazy? Like, do you get pissed off when you hear that, or?
First of all, ADHD is a false paradigm. Attention deficit. There's no deficit of attention. It's just an issue with regularity. So you can have the most attention focused on what you're interested in, and it's incomparable to the average person. They won't even be able to attain that level of focus that you can. However, it's hard to control that, and it's hard to force the focus. And a lot of the time, let's not kid ourselves, school is bullshit. It's so boring. There's not a single thing interesting about school, and thus a lot of kids with ADHD just immediately struggle. And you hear teachers say, you got to make it fun for the kid. You got to make it fun for the kid. And that's exactly it. If you find something interested in fun, you will soak that up like a sponge. So I truly believe it's a blessing, not a curse. I don't think it's a disease.
Yeah.
I think it's a benefit.
And I think a lot of people can get wrapped in that bad headspace to think that they're cursed with ADHD, and it can be so soul-sucking. I remember thinking, oh, I've got ADHD for life, I'm stuck with it. It's the worst thing. But yeah, you really got to change your mindset and think that's actually something that can benefit you. Because like I can focus on end for hours if I'm interested. Like when I was first learning about carnivore, I could sit there and research for hours. And I'm sure with you, like, even when you're younger and stuff, like, I don't know, did you play video games when you're younger? You can play for hours. Like anything that is like stimulating or like gives you interest, we can just hyper focus for ages on.
And like what you said earlier, a lot of people will call you stupid, lazy, inattentive, and it's simply not true. So this is a true story. I worked in a call center just before I came here to save money, and I was working within a small team, and there was this boy and this girl. They were both dropout students, and they were just looking to make money for their rent, and they went out with each other. So it's girlfriend and boyfriend, and obviously at the time I've got ADHD and I'm working in a call center. It's miserable. I can't focus. I'm a zombie basically. And this guy and this girl start taking the piss out of me because every time we have the team briefs for a fucking call center, like, what is there to brief about? You should dial this way. Like, they would be speaking about shit that doesn't even matter, and I'd just be zoned out. And they would be like, "Did you get that, Jago? Did you get that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I fucking got it. Like, dial harder than last time. Like, what is there to get?" Anyway, so this boy and this girl would just like, it would become a joke that I'm stupid, and this girl legit just came up to me one day and said, "Do you know, because you're really stupid," to start a sentence off. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then obviously when I get my chance to shine, I joined a different group within that work, and I got on with them really well. Boom. Then I was able to truly function, and I became one of the top salesmen. So I went from bottom feeder to top salesman simply based on how interested I was in the job. That's the power. So
what sort of sales do you do at the moment?
Right now it's kind of business to customer, but kind of business to business. So it's selling events, tickets to events, corporate events. So it's a little bit niche, very niche in fact.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's always obviously good to learn and do something that's different.
And what's the plan with you? Are you trying to, level up in your sales job, trying to grow an online income?
Yeah, man, that's it. I mean,
what do you reckon is the plan?
I'm really looking to just make a little bit of money online, just enough so I can travel. £3,000 a month is all I need.
Yeah. What,
And
Thailand?
Thailand, bro. You already know, boy. Thailand, man. That's the plan. But obviously, look, life is unpredictable, and I think God always has a plan, and I think that it's always going to be something you didn't expect to happen, which is what's been the case for a lot of the things. Have you had that experience?
Yeah.
You've always ended up doing stuff you never would have imagined.
Yeah, like if someone said you're going to be eating only meat, dropping out of university, moving out with a random guy from the UK recording a video right now, I would have been like, nah, you're joking, you're having a laugh.
Yeah, man.
Is that what happened with you?
Yeah, shit's crazy. Like, look, I came over here and I thought I've got to get my head down, knuckle down. It's just work. You know, work and gym, get everything fixed, get my body fixed. And then a couple of things have happened. Like I went to the chiropractor. I never would have even thought about that.
Yeah.
And that's paid off. It's just, it feels too much like luck, but I know it's fate. I know it's all meant to happen if you put in the work.
Yeah.
And like you said, I've come across you and the boys that are all on the same journey almost, and it's incredibly similar. And I don't think that's just luck. I think if you put in the hard work and you show that you're looking to improve, God or whoever is going to do that, is going to make that happen for you.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was looking for answers for my shoulder for years. I've seen all the best specialists, and then I put in my story within like less than an hour. This guy replies and says, I had the exact same issue. We hopped on a video call and everything just clicked, and my shoulder's not fixed yet, but literally I think wasn't the next day I traveled 2 hours to go to the chiro, like took the bus, and it all makes sense.
Put it there, bro. Let's get massive.
Yeah, bro. Like,
We're gonna get fixed. We're gonna get massive because that was look.
it will happen. Like it will.
Yeah, there's no denying it, and it feels so good to finally be able to have the answers that nobody else could provide you. You just got to find it yourself.
Then we're gonna tell other people about it on YouTube and help other people who literally would have paid. Like this is so untapped. People pay thousands. Like I paid, oh my gosh, like tens of thousands of dollars on specialists, and the time. Like the money's not even the main issue. It's the time. And then if we can somehow give back that value for free on YouTube without paying anyone, and I know we're not specialists, I know we're not, you know, doctors, but I don't think you need to be. I think you need to find someone who had the same issue as you and then fixed it. I think that's the way. I think most of these, you go to a physio, half of them, they're skinny, they don't work out. You go to your doctor.
Fucking hell.
I'm trying to speak, man. You go to your doctor, most likely he's skinny, fat, he doesn't know anything about health, and you go to him and say, I've got depression. He's probably got depression too. Like, it's not, you don't need a degree to, and I'm trying to sound inconsiderate to these, there's a lot of great doctors, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I think a lot of it is lived experience, and if you go through certain situations and you come out better, there's a lot of things that can be learned from it, so yeah.
It's true, man. Have you seen the World Health Organization?
Who?
All the leaders, they're all fat. They're all fat and ill. It's crazy. And they're telling us how to live.
Nah, bro, but fat is healthy. Like, you have to embrace that.
Yeah, don't fat shame.
Like, yeah, like.
Don't fat shame, guys. Like.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy times we live in.
It's crazy. They're saying meat is bad for you. Like, literally, we're eating like cavemen right now. Obviously, it's cooked or whatever, but. And like they're saying that this stuff, this collagen stuff that's gonna like give me great skin, make our joints feel good and stuff, is bad for us. It's gonna clog our arteries. It's crazy. I feel like we're living in a sim sometime. Like we're in a simulation.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Tell me if you agree with this, but like right now, even though we're putting in the work and we're trying to do the right thing, I always just feel, I'm very aware of how low value I still am.
Yeah.
I'm like nowhere near where we want to be, but I think everybody's got to start at this level. Every single person.
Life is literally like a video game. Like I was gonna make a video on this. It's the same as a video game. Call me crazy, right? You start at level 1, especially as a man. You start at level 1. You're born with 0 value. You have to level up. You've got to go through each level. Maybe training at the gym will give you 500 XP, and then you can, level up. You've got to improve your relationships with people. You've got to improve, your physical, your mental, or like the bars. Like, in those video games that are like, in Marrow Kart, you've got like speed, acceleration, like with all the bars, or like FIFA, like, pace, shooting, physical, dribbling, like 0 to 99. You can like level up each bar, and it is quite crazy how the reason why video games are so dangerous is that they're sucking young men in particularly into this horrible cycle because they're using their own ambition, their own drive to conquer. They're using that to fuel their video game addiction. Like all these guys, most of the people who are so successful used to be video game addicts, or like don't you agree? Like most of the time, people who are like really good at video games, they have that drive, they have that hunger, but it's in the wrong place. Because they want to conquer, they want to get the highest rank in the video game, they want to level up.
They know exactly what they're doing making those video games.
Yeah.
They know exactly what men want.
They're hooking us in.
Yeah, man.
But you really just got to get like, make life your video game, I guess. Literally, you can sleep when you go to the gym. You can literally like change the size of your muscle. Like you can change how your face looks by doing mewing, orthotropics. You can grow a beard. You can like change how you speak. You can speak slow. You can speak really fast. You can mix it up.
That's actually one thing I wanted to ask you about, because you've got ADHD.
Speak so fast. It's bad.
That's it. Look,
It's bad.
I have problems speaking fast all the time, and I don't even realize.
Same, bro.
Like,
It's bad. Just, I think we understand each other because our brains are like connect.
yeah, man. It's so hard to kind of, you're always comparing yourself to I don't know, the average person, like a normal person. I think they say neurotypical or something like that. And it like, it's very hard to understand how they live. And then, like when you meet another person with ADHD, you just get it, man. You just get it.
Yeah.
You totally understand it. I've got a friend back home. He's like my best mate from back home, and he's basically understood each other from like day one. There was no need to like discuss anything. It wasn't like, why do you do that? You know, why do you write reminders down about everything? It's just, you get it. You just know why they do it. You know why they set reminders and alarms and shit like that, and they have to have everything organized or whatever it may be.
Yeah, do you plan a lot? Like, I feel like I always plan out a lot, as in maybe my goals the next month, or what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do this time, but then always like, not fail, but I never fully execute. Like, you plan you have such high expectations, like, going to do this, do these a million things a day, and then you always like just fail short. Do you sort of have that?
Bro, all the time.
You set crazy high expectations because you get really ambitious.
Yeah.
Then I guess even if you fail short, you're still like, it's still better than not aiming for anything.
That's one of the pitfalls, I think. I think you get a lot of dopamine from planning.
Yeah, bro. I always overplan, like, yeah.
Like if you're speaking to someone and you're like, oh my god, like we're gonna be millionaires and shit
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
you get so much dopamine, and that's literally the high that you were looking for. You gotta maybe sometimes like I had a problem with just saying everything I was gonna do. Now I keep it in, and I just do it because I don't want the satisfaction of saying it and then being done with it.
Yeah, you'd rather, because I hear like a study, when you get like the dopamine from telling someone about your goal, you're less likely to achieve it